Violence and Non-Harming. This is our second of 12 weekly vigils, open to all people. They grew out of a vision shared by individuals from various Buddhist communities in Louisville. We gather in silent reflection, meditation, or prayer, in a collective expression of our grief over our national violence of racism, its persistence in the very DNA of our country, and the profound traumas inflicted on Black, Indigenous, people of color, and immigrants, individuals and communities alike, particularly at the hands of institutions and governments that should protect our fellow citizens, not harm or kill them. These vigils are also an expression of our desire to explore new visions for community safety for all, and to engage in solutions that promote and fund alternatives to systemic violence. So let's find our seats if we don't have one, and let me introduce myself. I'm Angie Reed Garner, a local artist. I'm your timekeeper today. I began to sit and study Buddhism in the mid-90s, and for 5 years I've been a student of Dosho Port on the Vine of Obstacles. He's currently located in Nebraska. He gave me the Dharma name of Shomyo, which means clear voice. Here in Louisville, we are incredibly fortunate to have many Buddhist communities. I've personally sat with the wonderful people of the Louisville Zen Center, with Great River Zen, and with the Louisville community of mindful living, and there are more sanghas I have yet to meet. We are also incredibly fortunate now to have Black Buddhist teachers writing, publishing, teaching directly from their place in the struggle for justice. How this visual will work today is that I will introduce you to 3 different Black Buddhist teachers. Then we will sit in silence for 3 periods of 8 minutes and 46 seconds. And that 8 minutes and 46 seconds is in memory of George Floyd. The first teacher is Lama Rod Owens, a Black queer minister, author, activist, and authorized Tibetan Buddhist teacher. Lama Rod Owens writes, "Much of my freedom and joy is bound up in my capacity to mourn. Mourning is my attempt to acknowledge heartbrokenness, accept it, and offer it space to be in my experience so it may do its work of teaching me and passing through. Whenever I feel this energy, I allow it, and it is something that I am encouraging others to do as well. When we are sitting with someone, it is an expression of compassion to offer them the space to move through their heartbrokenness. In my practice, I'm trying to be in power with my heartbrokenness. This means that I try to meet my woundedness, my discomfort, with a kind of friendliness. This friendliness is an expression of love, and that love is the energy that opens up the space around the discomfort." Next is Reverend Angel Kyodo Williams Sensei, a Black queer writer, activist, and ordained Zen Buddhist priest. One detail that connects her practice to us here in Kentucky is that she has been arrested at Mitch McConnell's office in D.C. while witnessing in defense of the Affordable Care Act. Reverend Angel Kyodo Williams Sensei writes, "It has long been believed that you can only truly organize people around issues that matter to them. But collective liberation asks something greater of us. It requires transcendent movements. Transcendent movements require people to organize around issues beyond what people perceive they are affected by. How to do that? People have to experience their interdependence, to recognize that any limit in your ability to love limits my ability to love. One has to penetrate the truth of interdependence such that I am moved to a place in which I am not doing something for you, but it is actually about me, which is tied to you because there is, in an absolute sense, no separation." She also writes, "There is something dying in our society, in our culture, and there's something dying in us individually. And what is dying, I think, is the willingness to be in denial. And that is extraordinary. It's always been happening, and when it happens in enough of us, in a short enough period of time at the same time, then you have a tipping point, and the culture begins to shift. And then what I feel like people are at now is bring it on. I have to face it. We have to face it. I will end with the words of Merle Kodo Boyd, the first black woman ever to have received Dharma transmission in Zen Buddhism, in March of 2006. She leads the Lincroft Zen Sangha in New Jersey. Merle Kodo Boyd writes, "When the urge to be still and quiet occurs to us, we have received a powerful gift. It would be wise of us to cherish and nurture it, even if only long enough for just a glimpse of its reverberations rippling through our lives. Act sincerely and directly on this urge to be still and quiet. We will likely sense that responding to this desire seems to settle and ground us rather than pull us into yet further desire. When we sit still and quiet with nothing else to do or be except ourselves, we often meet, if only briefly, a deep satisfaction. In that moment, whatever we are is enough. We can be still and quiet. That already is the perfection, the wholeness of being human." So let's begin our vigil. Please settle into a stable and comfortable posture that will allow you to be still. We will sit together in silence for 3 periods of 8 minutes and 46 seconds. Each period will be marked by a bell. If you find you want to move and adjust your posture, wait if you can until the next bell. But if you need to move, just move. Now bells will ring and the silent part of our vigil will begin.